Hey! 500 Days of Summer. Did you cry? I did. But one thing that I was wondering is, would we cry more if the music was changed to purposefully give the audience a reaction? My goal for this video is to show that not only would 500 Days of Summer work with a soundtrack that wasn't pre-composed and wasn't a compilation score, but it would also maybe add to the narrative by using a song that was composed just for the movie. If you don't know, 500 Days of Summer is a movie about two characters, Tom and Summer, and it is 100% from the point of view of Tom. The movie goes through the relationship between Summer and Tom, and after Summer breaks up with him, he spends the rest of his time in the movie mulling over what might have gone wrong in the relationship. And the specific scene that I focused on is where all of his revelations start to hit, where he finally realizes all the signs that he may have overlooked. So because of 500 Days of Summer's unreliable narrator and unpredictable storyline, the music in this specific scene can be changed to create a different feeling within the scene, therefore a different reaction to the movie. The original soundtrack for this movie is considered a compilation score. A compilation score is basically a selection of different songs that were not made with the movie in mind. They're pre-made, pre-composed songs that were just placed within the soundtrack. This is usually used as a marketing strategy, as said by Juan Chattah in his essay, but he also says that it can enhance the film's story through innovative placement of songs. So if a compilation score is used correctly, it can really add to the narrative. However, David Bell counters that the incorrect use of songs endangers the cohesiveness of film art. Basically what they're saying is, when a compilation score is used right, it can add to the story, and when a compilation score is used wrong, it turns out really wrong and ruins the entire piece of art. So in this scene that I analyzed, Bookends by Simon and Garfunkel is playing in the background. This song is used in particular because in this series of flashbacks within the scene, we can see Tom and Summer on a date watching the movie The Graduate. Simon and Garfunkel scored The Graduate. So because there's a reason behind the song used, it is an innovative placement of the song. Another reason why this song might have been chosen over other Simon and Garfunkel songs from The Graduate is because of its nostalgic feel. It is just a guitar piece, it's very beautiful, and the lyrics that are used in the small snippet of vocals is basically how Tom is feeling. So this song is a very good representation of the feeling that Tom is having during this memory recollecting sequence. So in this scene, Tom is talking to his sister. She urges Tom to think past just the good stuff as he looks back at his relationship with Summer. So when he looks back, you can see the shift in his memories, or the shift in the way that he views his memories through this sequence of scenes. I'm gonna leave a link to this scene. Click on that if you'd like to watch the scene with the original music that's used in the movie itself. So before I get into why I changed the music and what music I used to change it, I want to compliment this. I think that a compilation score really does work in this movie. Like I said before, the pick of Bookends is very well placed. I think it's a good pick for this scene because of the lyrics and because of the significance within the scene, the fact that it's from The Graduate. It all interconnects. So I don't think that this is a bad choice. Also, Tom is seen wearing headphones throughout the movie. He's constantly listening to music. Music is a big topic on his mind. He talks about it a lot. He bonds over the Smiths with Summer. So music is very interconnected within the world of Tom and within the world of Tom and Summer. In Tom's mind, he basically soundtracks his life. So from what I get from him wearing headphones a lot, I think of it as we're listening to the same music he is. I think they tried to score this movie with music that is plausible to be in Tom's playlist. However, I think that Bookends is an outlier here because the only reason Tom is listening to it is because he's in the theater watching the movie that Bookends is in. In the whole scope of the world, Tom is probably not listening to Bookends. Knowing Tom, maybe he did go out and buy the Simon and Garfunkel CD or cassette just because he thinks of summer when he thinks of that movie. But from what we know, he's only listening to Bookends because they were watching the movie. So I wrote 2 pieces for this project to show that this scene was easily manipulatable by changing the music itself. So for the first piece, the goal was to change an anticlimactic song to have more of a climax. As you heard in the previous scene, Bookends is a very anticlimactic piece. It's just guitar with a bit of vocals, and it starts and ends the same. So with this piece, I wanted the start to be very different than the end. I wanted to choose a specific part of the song to explicitly tell the listener and viewer what they're supposed to feel and when they're supposed to feel it. So if you don't want to listen to my piece or the whole thing, you can skip to the next timestamp, but here is the first piece.
It's playing at 5.
You want to see it?
I don't know, we could just go back to your place or...
No, I really want to see it. Let's go.
Okay. What is it, the movie?
It's nothing, I'm just being stupid.
Yeah. Pains me we live in a world where nobody's heard of spam.
I've never heard of this.
I put them on the mix division. They're track 1.
For the second piece, I chose something similar to the last one. I still wanted to have a climactic moment, but I wanted it to be at a different spot. Choosing a different spot within the piece is supposed to show the moment of realization that Tom has, where he's finally understanding the signs and that Summer may not have thought of him the same way that he did this whole time. Shows how pliable the scene is itself. This piece is different from the last one because I used a bunch of different instruments instead of just piano. I wanted to convey Tom's complicated feelings and building emotions as he's looking back on the scene itself. In the next piece, I add a different instrument every 4 measures until we get to the climax. I either add a different instrument or add a different level of, add something new, change something up every 4 measures so that it's constantly changing, and then we slowly diminish it out. So I wanted it to start and end the same way, but I wanted there to be an actual climactic moment.
It's playing at 5.
You want to see it?
I don't know, we could just go back back to your place, or...
No, I really want to see it. Let's go.
Okay. Shit, what is it? The movie?
It's nothing. I'm just being stupid.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Pains me we live in a world where nobody's heard of spin.
I've never heard of this.
I put them on the mix I made you. They're track 1. So, what do you want to do?
I think I'm just gonna call it a day.
You don't want to get some dinner? You hungry? You all right?
I'm just tired.
Okay.
So in conclusion, my goal was to show that the music in this specific 500 Days of Summer scene can be changed to create a different feeling within the scene, therefore creating a different way of viewing the movie altogether. This is possible because of the unreliable narrator within the movie. Tom's character is showing us only his side, and of course there's 3 sides to this story, but we're only seeing his. And so when we finally look back through a different point of view, we see that there's multiple ways to read this movie, and also through an unpredictable storyline. For some reason, this movie is sometimes categorized as a rom-com, which is something that I would say that it is definitely not. You're told that it's a couple that's going through life together. It's manic pixie dream girl. I'm not elaborating on that. I have things to say, but I don't want to say them right now. So, but it is not a rom-com, and the fact that this storyline strays so far from a romantic movie that you don't know what's going to happen and you're not sure how it's going to end leaves you feeling unsure about what you just watched. So the fact that it's a compilation score doesn't really help guide the viewer, which is definitely the intent here. If this score was composed, there's multiple different ways that this composition could go. The music could have many different feels, and it could make the whole movie feel different. And when you compose music just for a certain movie, and it is meant for that one scene, you're writing music for that scene, you can explicitly tell the listener when they're supposed to feel something and what they're supposed to feel. When you use a song that's already made, there's only so much you can do with the scene. So, in conclusion, manipulating music in 500 Days of Summer specifically changes the way that the audience feels about Tom and feels about Summer. So, that is all I have. Let me know what you think. Let me know whose side you're on. Bye. Thank you, Dr. Ray and Dr. Davis. Mwah.